The Coast Guard is a maritime organization responsible for ensuring safety and security along the nation's coastlines and in its territorial waters. They typically perform search and rescue operations, enforce maritime laws and regulations, respond to maritime emergencies, and protect marine environments. Coast Guards play a crucial role in safeguarding maritime borders, preventing smuggling and illegal immigration, conducting maritime surveillance and patrols, and providing assistance to vessels in distress. They often work closely with other agencies, such as navies, customs, and border protection authorities, to maintain maritime security and uphold maritime laws.
We are back to our show again. Good morning, Kuwait. We are moving for our first interview segment. Graduated from Britannia Royal Naval College from the militarization course and a bachelor degree from the Plymouth University in England. Have a master's degree on applied geoscience and GIS from Kuwait University. Was in charge for the couple of KCG patrol boat, and the latest one was P300. Was in charge of the southern sector in the flotilla department. So let's welcome Captain Mohammed Mustafa Sha'ban, a commanding officer in Marine Transport Department. Hello, Captain, and good morning.
Good morning, Aziz. Thank you for the invitation.
You're most welcome, and thank you so much for joining us, Captain, in our show. Good morning, Kuwait. Captain, we saw a report about the mission of the Coast Guard, and you've been there for a long time. I see your eyes glowing. Can you tell us about the mission of the Coast Guard?
Sure. The General Department of the Coast Guard and the Ministry of Interior is responsible for the implementation of security and protection measures for the maritime border of the state of Kuwait by preventing illegal entry of vessels, people, and drugs into the country by sea. In addition, we protect marine vital installation and assets. We're carrying out different search and rescue operations. We're tightening the security control over the marine islands, lands, and islands. And we also suppress any violations of Kuwait maritime law.
Nice. That's why you're always appreciating the efforts for your working crew, what they are doing to secure the sea of state of Kuwait against for any violation, drugs, and etc. Because you are representing the country with the flag, state of Kuwait. So this kind of missions need a very skillful persons be there, always to be cautious, be in time, taking responsibility, motivating themselves. Can you share to us about the skills have to be in the Coast Guard, Captain?
Sure. I mean, every Coast Guard member should have a specific amount of skills and knowledge. For example, marine navigation, search and rescue techniques, information about Kuwait maritime law enforcement, and a well understanding of emergency response. In addition, every Coast Guard member should have a good communication skills, as well as boat handling, firearms handling, and well understanding of teamwork and leadership abilities. I mean, these kind of skills can be typically gained through a combination of formal education and on-job experience, a specialized training program, as well as a continuous professional development. I mean, most of our Coast Guard officers have taken these academic knowledge and skills abroad. For example, myself, I went to Britannia Royal Naval College in England. We have the Canadian Coast Guard. Nice. Some people went to Poland, some people went to Egypt, and others graduated from Kuwait Police Academy.
And how was the experience that time in the college? I know, like, you are interacting with different colleagues from different countries. They are like their CR. Maybe we can see they have oceans. Their experience is different than yours. Their shipment is different. How was the experience that time?
I mean, to be honest, it's quite fun. We went there after graduated directly. The Ministry of Interior, they sent us to Britannia Royal Naval College directly after I graduate. So it's actually a good experience because you will get different culture. You will know different situations. I mean, they work on board destroyers and bigger ships than what we have in the Coast Guard, but it is a good experience and we enjoy it, to be honest, over there.
Nice. So I know, like, this kind of jobs have to, you say you face too many bad circumstances, good circumstances, difficulties because of the weather, the current of the sea, the situations. Because people who's working always in the field have more experience. Because field is everything you can see in the field. Tell us more about the difficulties facing the people who's working in the Coast Guard.
Exactly. I mean, the Coast Guard missions are actually challenging due to that, to the unpredictable marine environment. For example, working in harsh weather conditions.
Yes.
I mean, wearing the uniform and full gear at all times, especially under the heat of summer, is challenging. Even during the month of Ramadan, I mean, we still have to conduct our safety patrols and responding search and rescue operations. It is challenging as well. Sometimes restricted visibility, for example, in raining, in haze, on foggy days. I mean, it is challenging. We also do a routine patrols,
yes,
as well as conducting search and rescue operations in remote or offshore areas. It can be challenging because we may face illegal activities such as smuggling, drug trafficking, or illegal fishing that may pose risk factors which required a specific training to address. Nice. And to be honest, Aziz, I just want to tell you, it is, as I'm speaking, I can assure you that every personnel in the Kuwaiti Coast Guard are well trained to adapt to the diverse situations to ensure the protection of marine assets and ensure safety at sea.
And also, we are believing in you and all people working in the Coast Guard because we appreciate the way you are protecting, the way, because you put on your eyes the Kuwaiti flag, you are presenting your country in any circumstance. You mentioned in holy month of Ramadan, during the fasting time, they are in the sea, patrolling 24/7. This is the job, like, you are securing the country. So that's why it goes me to another thing. When you be in the sea, there's too many entities are linking with you during the sea, like the Coast Guard representing the Ministry of Interior, you have public authorities, you have entities. Tell me more about the cooperation between the Coast Guard and different entities.
Exactly, we work with a lot of different government authorities. For example, the Fire Force, represented by the Search and Rescue Department. We work with them in answering distress signals and search and rescue operation. I mean, especially in the busy summer month.
Yes.
We also work with the Public Authority.
Nice.
In responding to any environmental violations happened by the seaport operators. We also work with the Kuwait Navy to make sure the protection of the sea borders and the maritime assets. We also have other regional partners and countries we work with, like the Gulf nations and the CTF 151, the CTF 152, which are our coalition forces based in Bahrain. We work with them in maritime security operations and to remain prepared to respond to any crisis or incidents that may happen or develop in the area.
See, you mentioned like 7 entities, 4 locally and even the others from the GCC. So you're always following a requirement, right? Like because of you, we were dealing with different kind of countries. There is like a certain requirement, articles you are following.
Exactly, they are specialized training, they are specialized communication we do with these countries. So yeah, exactly.
Nice. And let's talk more about the courses, the Captain. We are investing here with us in the studio. People who's working in the Coast Guard, time by time, they have courses to develop themselves, the languages, to know more about the new technology, the AI, the ships. Tell me more about the course of the Coast Guard.
Actually, we have a specialized training department. It is a specific department in the General Department of the Coast Guard. They are responsible of the professional development of every Coast Guard personnel. They do offer many specialized training. I will speak about some of them. We have this basic seamanship training course.
Okay.
It is a 4 weeks course that actually you will learn basic seamanship skills. You will learn how to deal with boats. You will learn how to do a firearms handling. You will learn a self-discipline. You will get a physical training test. You will actually they will actually try to train you to be a productive Coast Guard member. We also have a specialized divers training course. It is an 8-week course that you will learn more theoretical knowledge about diving and practical skills. We also have the fast boat interception course. It's an 8-month course. We have a self-defense course. It's an 8 weeks course as well.
Okay.
So we have many different courses, and I'm just talking about some of them.
And there is something I want to know more, our Captain. People don't know, and especially some of the people, the way when you're receiving a message until you're going to do the message, like we call it in Arabic balagh, in English message. So you've been in the Coast Guard for a long time, for 7 years you've been serving there. Tell us more about the steps, the time when you're receiving and when you are applying and you're going to one certain point mission.
It's actually, we call it, it's either a distress calls or a call like we get the call directly from the emergency number, the MOI operation room, 112. We receive the call from them to our headquarters, and the officer who's in charge of the operation room, he will assign a specific interceptor to go. It's either an interceptor or a battleship to go and deal with that incident. So it's the man who is in emergency distress. He must call the MOI operation room, and we will get it exactly, and we will deal with it.
Amazing. Captain, we can say all the time, good times run very fast. We didn't fill the time. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are very proud of you and all the people who's working in the Coast Guard. But you have any last advice you want to say? Last advice in brief.
Exactly. I mean, because it is the beginning of the season, I wish everyone to have a good time at sea. However, I always advise everyone to follow the rules and regulations at sea. I mean, check the weather before you go out. You have to have a driver license, the boat driving license, and a valid documentation. You have to follow the rules. You have to maintain a proper speed, especially in the busy area. Just enjoy the summer, and when you feel you are in doubt on danger, do not hesitate to call the Ministry of Interior emergency number. Nice. We always believe we are in the safe hand. Thank you so much for joining us today. So a special thanks and appreciation to our guest, Captain Mohammed Mustafa Sha'ban. He's the commanding officer in Marine Transport Department. We're moving about different aspects. The Embassy of Canada, in collaboration with the International Committee for the Red Cross ICRC, hosted an event entitled Keeping Humanity Alive at the official residence of Canada. A key focus of the Mr. Su's address was the ICRC's role as the neutral intermediary in the facilitating recent prisoners and exchanging between Saudi Arabia and Yemen, highlighting the complex operation and negotiations such as endeavors and inter. So let's take a look about this certain report. We'll be right back to you. Stay tuned.